Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner, where we talk to the coaches of PVAMU and get their perspective on what's been going on during the season, what to expect after the season, and what's been happening during the offseason. Today, joining me, we have the coach of the women's tennis team, Coach Duane Williams. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm coach of the men and women's tennis team.
Excuse me. Let me get you right. All right, Coach. We just want to start it off because, noticing the team's record, you've been picking things up in conference play, but it seems that out of conference, that's where the struggles lie. So, what would you point your finger at to give a reason for that?
Out of conference, just generally, Texas is a really, really tough state for tennis. Mm-hmm. So the big states for tennis are Texas, California, Florida. Every school in Texas is good at tennis.
Right.
Whether Texas is good at tennis.
Right.
Whether D1, D2, JUCO, whatever.
Right.
So just out of conference, every school we play in our little region, well, not little region, our region here of Texas is very, very good. So
right.
It's just the consistency. We've been getting some individual wins, but it hasn't come together as a team as yet.
Right. Now, Coach, you talk about Texas being, kind of a place where tennis teams seem to flourish. And that makes me think when it comes to recruiting. Mm-hmm. Well, does that make it easier on you for recruiting, knowing that Texas has such an abundance of talent?
It makes it a little bit easy, but it's hard at the same time, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of talent, but also I got a lot of competition when I'm trying to recruit players. They have so many options of schools to go to.
Right, and staying on that topic of recruiting, because I know you're from Barbados, and you have your connections. You've played on the international team in Barbados, so you have your connections to that team, and you've been able to recruit some players from Barbados. So what would you say, taking behind the scenes into your recruiting process, because I know the transfer portal is also a big thing now, so what would you say you most rely on?
Well, mostly I rely on emails, just simply emails. The transfer portal plays a part, but tennis traditionally is pretty international sport. Most of the teams are really international based. So I get so many emails pretty much every day, players from all over the world, not just, the South America, the Caribbean. We got European players trying to come here too.
Right.
So for me, the biggest thing, what has helped the last couple of years really, there are a lot of showcases. So a company will have simply a college showcase, and they'll have players from all over show up, and they'll have a bunch of coaches in the area come and be able to see and talk to those players. Right.
Now, Coach, we talked about this a little bit off camera, that we had Coach Roberto De Freitas, come on and talk to us. And one thing that he said to us that when it comes to these matches and getting points, that the doubles matches were very crucial, into getting those points to win the match eventually.
Yes.
And Coach, to be honest with you, I played tennis a little bit in my middle school days, decent at best, to be honest. But so what has it been? Because I know it takes a lot of continuity. So what take me to that process to get those players on the same page, playing those double matches, which are so crucial.
So funny you say that. So today, we had some rain this morning. So the team, they had their weight workout in the gym, and then we took the girls to one of our conference rooms, and we had some video footage specifically of their doubles match against Florida A&M. So today we did a lot of analysis and the strategy, what worked well for them, the areas we need to improve on. And doubles, they're the basics. You want to serve well, you want to return well, you want to be at net. So be able to watch that footage, be able to see, hey, this strategy worked well, and I was able to ask questions. Why do you make these decisions? And kind of show them, hey, this is a good strategy, this worked today, but this is how we can tweak it to maybe work against a different team, or even, I don't want to say better team, but someone that may be stronger on a different day.
Right. Now, Coach, these past two matches, disregarding against Lamar, because I know things, didn't fall in the way that you would hope. But previous to that, you guys were on a 3-game winning streak. So what was the secret sauce to that, that 3-game winning streak?
That 3-game winning streak, I would say the girls just really stepped it up. They were kind of up and down before that. So they had a little talk on their own, and I think one of the parents of one of the girls who played college tennis talked to them as well, and that kind of really just stoked the fire in them. and they were able to step it up. And sometimes in tennis, that's what you need. Like I think now in the SWAC, all the teams are really good. Any team can beat any team in any given day. So sometimes it comes down to who really wants it the most. And our girls really showed that our last SWAC pod.
Right, and you talk about who wants it the most. And my mind instantly goes to, we talked about her off camera, Gabrielle Leslie. She seems to be, a standout player. I know Coach DeFrites and you as well agreed that she would be among the top players in the SWAC. So tell me a little bit about her and what makes her so special.
Yeah, Gabrielle has been a great addition to our team, even coming in as a freshman. I've had my eye on her for a little while through some contacts back home. She wants to win, as simple as that. She's hungry. She's been in situations, in matches where she's down, and she simply told me, hey, Coach, I need to do better, and literally stepped back out on the court and did it.
Right.
And so for her, she's been a huge addition to our team and a huge help. And, with her, I'm trying to just make the team a little bit stronger and stronger every time.
Right. And Coach, to that point, I know you really have a special place for Gabrielle, because I know you wanted her to come on the show. And if Gabrielle, if you're watching, we would love to have you to come on the show and chat with us. But Coach, we talked about you being a player from Barbados, having that international play experience. So in your time playing, and as you watch the game progress, what can you say about the evolution of tennis?
The evolution of tennis, definitely the technology. I mean, there's so much technology that you can get, so much stats, so much. The analytics is a big thing right now, which helps you with which strokes to hit, what is high percentage, low percentage, but also the physicality of it. Now we see players that before years ago, tennis was, let's just do what we do on the court. Now you're seeing so many more players, they're posting their workouts and they're training. Right. And back in my day, it was like, I don't want to lift too much weights. I don't want to do this. But now everyone has a coach, then a strength coach, then trainers, all of this stuff constantly. Right. So I think it's a lot more physical game. Everyone's fitter. And that, if you look at professional tennis, you'll see players playing to a lot older than they used to.
That's honestly pretty interesting. You talk about it being more of a physical game now, because I know you need a lot of coordination. It's a lot of mental things that go into tennis. Yeah. But when we look going into this season, because the SWAC championship is just a month away. So how do you feel with the men's and the women's team? How do you feel that they're positioned headed into those days?
For me, I think the men's team has a little bit of a tougher journey. Just based on how we've done so far, but we have a group of talented guys. So again, it's going to come down to how bad they want it, and they definitely have the potential, so they can do it. But we got to be on the same page, and for them, they got to do it day in, day out.
Right.
The women, they're going into championships in a better position than the men, but with the addition of like FAMU and Bethune, I think the SWAC teams are getting stronger. So for the women, any team can kind of beat anyone else on any given day. So for us, for the girls, they got to stay focused and they can't relax in championships.
Right. And Coach, you talk about the men maybe not playing as well as the women right now. What do you think, in your estimation, has been holding the men back? I
don't think it's not really a situation of not playing as well. We have the men's team is a little bit younger. We had a bunch of freshmen come in. Well, they're sophomores now, and then some more freshmen this year. So they're just a little bit younger. So we're kind of in a development phase with them. Right. So they're doing the stuff that they need to do. Is just it takes some time.
Right, and that makes total sense. We talk about tennis being a mental sport, so you're going to need that experience to know exactly what you're doing and getting out there on the court. And Coach, I guess to wrap it up, I would ask you this question, because we know you got UTSA coming up. So what can we expect for the people watching at home? What can we expect come April 3rd against UTSA?
So we have the ladies against UTSA, and we're looking definitely to get that doubles point. I think our number one doubles team is one of the best teams in the state. you know, if they really apply themselves, they can beat any team any day. Just doesn't matter what ranking they are. So we just need some more consistency with our two, which are two doubles or two freshmen.
Right.
So sometimes they're really, really good. Sometimes they're a little bit off, which is fine as a freshman team. And we just need a consistency on our three doubles. We've played around with that competition, with that combination a little bit. And then the singles, we're gonna probably take this UTSA match as a look as a preparation for conference. So we're going out like, hey, imagine we're playing any school in our conference. There's that energy we're taking onto this match.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking for.
Right. Well, Coach, I gotta be honest with you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm gonna wish you the best of luck in those matches. And Coach, you know, thank you again for joining us. That was Coach Duane Williams. Next up, we're going to be talking with a volunteer coach of the track team, Tristan. Stay tuned after the break. This is Coach's Corner.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
Hello and welcome back to Coach's Corner. Right now, joining me is volunteer coach of the track team, Tristan. Tristan, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. And I guess to start off, because we know I know you just graduated. So tell us a little bit about your time here at PV and what it was being a part of the track team.
Man, it was really kind of wonderful, to be honest. I mean, I was under-recruited in high school, and Coach Clay reached out kind of when I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, and I wanted to still run and compete. And so he offered me a little scholarship. I came and pole vaulted at first, and then I transitioned to the combined events.
Right. Now, I gotta go to this because pole vaulting is a very interesting competition, so to speak. Because I remember, speaking of middle school, I did pole vault in middle school, and I tell you, I was horrible at it. I mean, you gotta be real dexterous to do that. So, what went into your preparation? You know, getting ready to do the pole vault.
Man, I mean, everybody has their own little key takeaways to it, but for me, you got to work on that approach to begin with. But then once you put the pole in, it's kind of all your work's really there. Your technique comes along as you keep practicing. It's one of them practice makes perfect events. But yeah, you just can't be afraid to really push yourself, because if not, you're gonna come back on the track.
Yeah, let me tell you, I salute you, man, because I couldn't do it myself. Let me tell you that. But because I know you're a volunteer coach and you recently just graduated, so tell us a little bit about your role. What does that constitute being on the team?
For the most part, I really just help out with the combined events. I assist with the pole vault every once in a while whenever Coach Washington is getting spread thin where he has to go to throws or high jump or something like that. I just really just fit in wherever they need me. I'm a big morale booster, really. Right.
Now, because I wanna stay on that topic of you being a part of the track team last year, and because you guys won the SWAC Indoor Championship. So take me back to that and what memories that you have of that.
Oh, well, we just won the indoor as my volunteer season, but last year we won the outdoor.
Right.
And that was great because it was my last time competing. It was me and one other super senior, I guess you would consider us, the COVID year or whatever. So that was real special to me because, we sent seniors out with the championship when I was a sophomore, and then the younger guys sent us out as champions. So it was really good feeling.
Right, and you were actually right. Thank you for correcting me. You won the outdoor last year, but and I hate to bring up a bad memory, but when we talk about that indoor track season, you guys came up short just a little bit to Alabama State, coming in second place, and sadly you and your teammate were injured. So does that haunt you in any way, that knowing that had you guys been healthy, you may have gotten it done?
Not really, because it really just showed us what the team was capable of. They only lost by, I think, 20 points, and I already knew we were going to get 50 points stronger outdoor with me and Sonny,
right?
Because we've been so dominant in our two events. So I already knew if they kept the same execution level in the outdoor season, it was going to be no shot. We were going to lose.
Right. Now let's move into this season and you being a part of the coaching staff. We just talked about how the team just won the indoor championship, and they're looking pretty good heading into outdoor. They just did pretty well at the PV relay. So what would you say about this team and their performances so far?
Man, we have a lot of depth on both sides, men and women. I'm not really so much with the women's side, but just as a fan of the sport, we are very deep on both sides. As long as we stay healthy, it's going to be a pretty magical season, I think.
Right, and I know you being a part of the team last year and you being a coach this year, I know you had your eye on some of the players. So for the people watching, give us some players to look at come this outdoor track season.
I'm gonna try not to list them all. Really, we got Macy Guy in the women's pole vault. We got the twins, Jade and Jada Sabir, in the 200 and 400. Asia, Morgan, the Kansas transfer, in the short sprints. On the men's side, we got Damon Cobbs. We got a couple pole vaulters, Deodric, Zach, and Ladorian. Nathan Crawford-Wallace, the Barbados nationality.
Right.
Triple jumper. I think he's number 5 in the nation right now in NCAA. We have a very, very talented distance crew with Worthington Moore, Jamal Wote, Simon, a whole list of guys.
Right.
We're deep. I mean, it's the whole team is special.
Right. I mean, you really just went down the list. I mean, that is a pretty deep roster that we have so much talent here at PV when it comes to track and field, and that's great to hear. I know the people watching are gonna love to hear that. But so you played, and now that you're coaching, tell me a little bit about the preparation that it takes. Getting the players ready, getting yourself ready when you played for the track season.
Man, track is such a mental sport. You just kind of gotta keep them level-headed.
Right.
Because even when you have some bad jumps or a bad time, you kind of gotta give them some positive reinforcement. Even though they have some things to work on, you just gotta keep building them up. Because at the end of the day, if you're checked out mentally, there's nothing you can do to help yourself, no matter the preparation. But you just gotta trust the training, trust the process, all that.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because track is a uniquely mental sport. I mean, just knowing from being a part of it myself. I mean, because like you said, you can get in your head very quickly. So when we talk about you personally, back when you ran, how did you stay out of your own way when it came to track?
Man, I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Washington. My freshman and sophomore year, I was kind of a head case because I would get struggling with pole vault, or I wouldn't jump as high as I would want, and he would calm me down. He always kept me, motivated to keep going. But after that, I just kind of locked it in. He kind of told me, all these people that you're going against, no matter how big of a name they are, they put the pants on just like you are. They can't, just because they have a big time or a big whatever that day or on their paper, they still got to beat you that day. So it kind of leveled me out, and I just didn't let nobody try and beat me at that point.
Right. Now you talked about not only that you did pole vault, but you did what other?
I did the combined events, the heptathlon indoors and the decathlon outdoors.
Right. So tell us a little bit about that.
To me, it's just a test of athleticism. You get a little bit of everything. Indoors, you get short sprints, distance race, all the jumps, throwing events. Outdoors is the same thing, just a couple more events. But it's just a test of athleticism over 2 days.
Right. I got to be honest with you. I mean, track and field it's one of the hardest sports. I put it up there, even more than the typical sports we think of, like football, basketball, all of those other sports. Because like you say, it's not only a mental thing, but you also do need to keep your body right, obviously. So I really appreciate your perspective today, and I thank you for joining us, man. I really do. Hopefully, you know, we can get you on some other time. And that was Tristan Ham from Coach's Corner, the volunteer coach of the track and field team. This is Coach's Corner, and we're going to be right back after the break with the softball coach, Coach Vernon Bland.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Hello and welcome
What do an
back to
aerospace
Coach's Corner.
engineer-
Right now joining me, we have the coach of the softball team, Coach Vernon Bland. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Coach, I'm doing fine. Coach, it's always good talking with you. And Coach, we're gonna get right into it because the softball team has been getting it done recently, winning 5 of their last 7 games. So what has been going right for the team?
Well, we actually they just been kind of playing up to what we expected. You
Right.
know, we have they're young, but they're also talented. So they just kind of doing the things that we expected them to do. So you know, hopefully you know it continues. You know,
Right.
we on a good trend. We going up. So.
Right, and you talk about having those young players, because I know when we talked about this earlier, you have 14 underclassmen, and you know their inexperience may be a reason, right, for the slow start. So how has it been, you know, trying to get them acclimated to the speed of the game?
Yeah, that's and you made a right term, the speed of the game. You know,
Right.
the college game is much faster than high school, much faster than the select team. So they just have to get used to the speed, the experience of the other players. You know, our non-conference, we play teams from all over the country, so we don't shy away from playing anybody. And they just, we've been playing teams that are more experienced than us. But, you know, like I said, this is the time that they need to get us, because in a couple of weeks, I think we're gonna be rolling.
Right, and we talk about those young players because you have 2 standouts that I wanted to talk a little bit about. Kaylin Massey and Biviana, I don't want to get her last name wrong.
Figueroa.
Exactly, Figueroa. Both of them have been standout players come this year. Biviana being on the hitting side, and Kaylin being a freshman coming in and doing such great things. So talk a little bit about them and their contributions.
Right. Kaylin came in as a pitcher, and she has become our ace pitcher. You know,
Okay.
she has won I think 3 out of the 6 games in SWAC. So she's come in, she's done what we've expected of her, and so we're expecting more things. She's just a freshman, so she can only get better. Biviana is a sophomore transfer, and Biviana was being recruited by a lot of big schools. She just kind of fell in our lap. She sent me an email, I responded, and we did a meeting, and I guess she liked what she heard,
Right.
and she decided to come. And so I did my research on Biv, and I reached out to some coaches, and one of her former coaches told me that he said Biviana is going to be an All-American for you.
Okay.
And if she keeps up this pace, she's definitely going to be looked at as an All-American.
Right. I mean, we're gonna be sure to keep our eye out for her,
Right.
and what she does in the future. Now, Coach, I want to talk a bit about, we talked a bit about the speed of the game and how that may be, in a bit of an adjustment period. So, and I talk about this all the time. I say softball, baseball alike. It's a game of ups and downs, right? You're gonna have your hitting slumps. Sometimes the pitching may not be the best. Sometimes you just having errors on the field.
Correct.
So, what would you, if you could point your finger at one thing, what would you say that the team needs to get better at to maintain success?
Well, what has happened, committed less errors on defense.
Okay.
And one of the big things with softball is getting hits with 2 outs. And so we've come through with 2 outs. This past weekend against Pine Bluff, we swept Pine Bluff, but the first 2 games we were losing in the 6th inning. And so both games we came back with timely hits, and then we made big defensive plays at the end of the game. So our defense has come through, has gotten better, and our 2-out hitting has definitely gotten better.
Right. Now, Coach, you happen to graduate from Prairie View. Just a little bit of background about you. So what has it been like, just seeing PV as a whole progress?
As a whole, it is wonderful. I'm a proud alum. When I got here, I tease people. I say, when I got here, we didn't have sidewalks.
Okay.
so now, we have probably the best-looking campus in the conference, and it will hold its own with a lot of schools in Texas. So that has definitely been an improvement. Our athletic department has come a long way. You guys will probably be amazed at what the old football stadium looked like, what our old facilities look like. So Prairie View is the place to be as far as athletics at this time.
Right, and I did have a chance at seeing that old PV stadium, because my mom, she was a graduate of here, and yeah, it pales in comparison to what we have now. And we talk about that progression because I know you've been coaching for a while. So also, I want to extend that question to the softball team. What has it been? What have you seen with the softball team's progression?
So we just had to get better. We had the early softball team won the SWAC championship, and then we kind of fell off as far as recruiting. And then once we came on, my staff, we came on and we got back into recruiting. And so we've been able to reach out outside of Texas. We brought in some young ladies from outside of Texas, and we kind of try to corner the market of this little small area around us. So I think it's just us getting better as far as recruiting and the facilities, and, just being able to provide a better opportunity for these young ladies.
Right. Now, Coach, we talk about how you're a graduate here and how long you've been, in a tenure here at PV. Now, but Coach, you were an assistant coach under the legendary coach John Tankersley. Yes. So I want you to tell us a little bit about your time under him.
Well, my time under Coach Tank as a baseball coach was great. I learned a lot from Coach Tank, and also Coach Raymond Burgess was part of our staff. And so they taught me how to treat people. That's the one thing as far as a coach, building relationships with your players and treating them as, they're young adults. So, that's the one thing I can say. I learned a lot about baseball, but Coach Tank taught me more about life. Right.
Now, Coach, going back to this season, we talk about the team's record, and you guys have turned things around when it comes to in-conference play. But Coach, what because we talked to the tennis coach about this, what do you think it was the reason for the struggles early in the season when it came to out-of-conference play?
Well, our non-conference schedule is pretty tough. We play teams from all over the country. The goal during non-conference is to really kind of see where we're at. So we use different lineups to just give people
kind of like a measuring stick.
Yeah, measuring stick. Give people time to see if they can make this adjustment to this college game. This was the first year that we didn't really do as well. Previous years we finished above 500 coming out of non-conference. This just was a tough year as far as with the youth. These girls didn't really know each other, because we had 12 new players.
Right.
And so it was just the inexperience and the not being able to gel as quick as we wanted to.
Right, and that's completely understandable, because we talked about it, how you need to have that continuity on the baseball field, because once the ball comes off the bat, everybody needs to be reacting in the same way, knowing what they need to do. And Coach, I guess to wrap it up, my last question to you would be, because you got a big weekend coming up, we're playing our rival TSU this weekend. You got 3 games in a 3-game series. So what can we expect for the people at home watching, right? What can we expect come this weekend versus TSU?
It's going to be an exciting series. As always, playing TSU, our biggest rival. We usually do pretty well. Last year we played and we won the series, won 2 out of 3 games. So, we're just looking forward to playing. Our goal is to win the series, make sure at least 2 out of 3. A sweep would be great because it is TSU and that would put us in first place. So, you know, if you guys are in the area, come out. We play Friday at 3 o'clock and Saturday 12 at 2. So we're looking for all the support. Going to be a beautiful weekend.
Right.
So come out and support your Lady Panther softball.
All right, Coach, I appreciate that. We need to make sure for the people at home watching, make sure that you come out and support the softball team. I know I'll definitely be there, Coach. And, Coach, Coach, thank you for joining us today. It's always always good talking to you. And that is it for the Coach's Corner. I'm Caleb Carter. That was Coach Vernon Bland. Thanks for watching.